Hello, it's Ruth at Simplicity DX here. We all know that today's brands have to work really hard to attract shoppers to the site. And if a customer bounces, then that effort is lost and ultimately the cost of acquisition is higher. Now, the bounce rate is really high on the journey from social to the brand site. In fact, our customers are telling us that the bounce rate is in the region of 70 to 90%. Even scarier, our customers are telling us that the conversion rate is around 0.5% on a landing page. So you really do have the perfect storm. You've got a high bounce rate, you've got a low conversion rate, which is bad for the brands, but really bad for the shopper as well, because it leads to frustration and annoyance. So these data points, these statistics, have driven us to really want to dig and understand the cost of a bounce, but also the reasons and its impact. So this is what I'm going to quickly show you within this summary today. So the cost of a bounce. We surveyed 1,000 shoppers in the US across all demographics. We also looked at the advertising costs from industry standard data. And then from our survey results, we looked at the lost revenue opportunity when they bounced across different groups. So crunching this data brought back the following statistics. So for new customer bounce the cost is $4.89. For an existing customer, the cost was $5.24. Obviously, that's higher because the average order value is typically higher for existing customers. And then that averages out at $5.11. So what this means is that brands are literally leaving money on the table as their customers step from social to the product detail page. We wanted to put that in context, so we did this quick calculation. For every 10,000 visitors, if 80% bounce, the lost opportunity cost to the brand is $40,880, which is pretty significant. So let's have a look at the reasons. So this is fascinating and quite unexpected. The top reason at 55% was that shoppers couldn't find the product or the product looked different. I've got an example here to bring this to life. So if you look at the post on the left-hand side, you see the lady in the green t-shirt and the blue jeans. But when you click on the post and go to the product detail page, typically, and in this example, the product looks different. You know, the t-shirt isn't there and the jeans are styled differently. And it just throws up lots of questions and frustration. So this is what people are referring to within this result. So ultimately, this shows that driving people to the product detail page from social just really fulfills one purpose and one purpose alone, and that is driving traffic to the site. It's not great for conversion. And in fact, it leads to a disconnected experience and frustration for shoppers, and lots of lost cost advertising revenue for the brands. So the other two reasons that came back, there's actually a host of other reasons, but I picked the top three. 37% the product was too expensive, so that's a timing or a targeting issue. And for 31%, the product was out of stock. Now, this is a continuous issue and a frustration for shoppers, and brands are obviously working to address that. So let's look at the impact. There was actually a lot of detail in the survey and the survey results and the research around the impact. So I've just picked out a few. So 62% of shoppers were left feeling frustrated. So like that woman with the hammer, so frustrated. We all know how that feels. 24% were less likely to shop with the brand again. That frustration was really intense. I don't want to shop with that brand again. And for 73% that bounced, that was the end of the journey. So for the vast majority, that was it. It ended there and then and didn't go back at a later date. So the other point I wanted to look at was sharing. Obviously, social is a sharing channel. So do people share their discontent and their frustration? Well, it turns out they actually do. Nearly 40% of shoppers shared their frustration with friends or on social. Another interesting point is that only 9% shared with the brand itself. So this shows there is a ripple effect, but the brands aren't aware of it, but their shoppers' friends are. So the damage is double. So within this quick summary, we've looked at the cost, the reasons, and the impact. There is a host of other data and research within the report. So please do head over there and download the report. The information I really don't want you to miss if you're a brand is the advice from shoppers to the brands on how to stop them bouncing. You really must go and look at that. It's very, very helpful. And it's going to help you hopefully stop this continuous rotation of bouncing and low conversion and help you make that change. Thank you for your time.